Hey there everyone, and welcome to this week's bite-sized market update. Last week in El Paso County, we saw a total of 224 new homes that came to the market. We saw 34 price increases, 173 price decreases. We saw 41 homes that came back on the market. That's homes that were for sale, that were under contract, that didn't completely close out for one reason or another. And we saw 386 total homes sold that closed out where the ownership was officially transferred. So we've seen kind of a stability now with the new homes that are coming to market. We've seen about 210 to 230, somewhere in that range, come to the market every single week. This week we also did see a spike of the number of price decreases. It's been around 140, 150 for the past couple weeks, and we saw that come up to about the 170 mark. So a little bit more common. We're going to see if down the road that's going to become more of a trend. We saw a decrease in the homes that are coming back on market. It seems like the recent boost of homes that have been coming back on market that were under contract that had to be essentially resold was because people at the beginning or right before the shutdown had great qualifications as far as the people who were looking to buy a house. And then for one reason or another, if their job went away temporarily, if their hours got cut, or it affected their income or anything else they had going on, we saw buyers that went under contract for these houses during and right before the shutdown here in Colorado. And if that interrupted their income or interrupted anything in the process, they weren't able to close on that. So that was partially for the reason for the back on the market spike that we saw, I would say 2 months ago up until about a month ago. So again, we'll see that this is for this week, it's kind of a decrease. We'll see if going forward, if it's going to be a continued trend. And again, we saw a slight decrease in the total number of houses that closed that actually sold to that 386 number. The past couple weeks, the past 2-3 weeks, we've seen houses closing in the mid 500s number of units every single week. And that was due in part because our spring market was kind of put on pause for that major shutdown in March, in April, and kind of leading into May. So we saw, instead of like less homes being sold total, all of that going on, it was like the market made up for itself in June and July and really pushed those numbers out. So again, we saw some changes this week from the past couple weeks, and over the coming weeks, we're gonna see if these continues to be a trend or if it's just something that happens during this week. Speaking of having a stable market, the health department has informed El Paso County that there's been an increase in the number of reported COVID cases in El Paso County. The health department for Colorado has told El Paso County that they need to do what they can to help reduce the number of cases being reported, I believe, on a daily basis. And if those numbers continue to climb and we don't have a decrease in 2 weeks, that they're going to start evaluating, they're going to start looking at, again, another partial shutdown, another total shutdown, which could mean quite a different things for people's jobs, could mean different things for people who are looking at buying a house, people who are looking at selling a house, and people who are in the middle of that process. There's no way to tell whether the plans that they've got going right now are going to work or are going to get those numbers down. And there's no way to tell that if those numbers are up and if we do have to look at a partial shutdown 2 weeks from now, what that plan may look like, what it might do to affect the market. But I mean, at least it keeps things interesting. I mean, I'm always guessing, but there are a few things that are staying pretty stable. One thing I would like to reiterate, one thing I would like to mention, if you're looking at getting any repairs done on your house, it's best to address that sooner rather than later. I'm still working on repairs on properties I'm helping to sell, properties where I'm helping my clients to buy, and repairs are going slow just because people are so far booked out, and it may take a little longer to get that estimate, to get the repairs done, and get that all taken care of. Also this week, mortgage rates continue to stay low. They continue to stay ridiculously low. My clients, my friends, my family who have been refinancing, who have been buying, have been getting incredible rates. If you've been looking at buying, if you've been looking at refinancing, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to get you in touch with people who can get you incredible rates as well. The average days on market for El Paso County for the past week has been 16 days. So we've seen that, again, kind of stable. Last week was about 15 days. The week before was about 14 days. So we're seeing that about 2 weeks on the market is how long we're seeing it takes to sell a house. But that concludes this week's bite-sized market update. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call, send me a text, and I'd be happy to help you out with any questions that you might have. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you next week.